Welcome to Section 420, Talking Yankees, the podcast. Well, it happens every season. You can set your watch to it. Giancarlo Stanton officially on the IL with a tweaked hamstring. Happens every year, you know it happens. So, unfortunately, Yankees dealing with yet another issue where over this past week hasn't been good for the Yankees. Again, Baltimore and Atlanta's kind of slapped them around a little bit. The bullpen, the starting rotation looks a little out of whack right now, even with the return of Cole. And now this add-on to the file, you have now Stanton tweaking the hamstring and needing to go on the IL. So, Yankees made a couple moves to combat that, so we'll kind of get into that. I'll analyze it. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this podcast. Get these little updates throughout the rest of the season. That's why you want to be a podcast subscriber. And make sure you also go on YouTube, Section 420 Talking Yankees, subscribe there as well. So this was during the Atlanta game, the second one there, where the only game the Yankees won in that series. As you know, it always happens with Stanton. Usually kind of runs very stiff. You know why? Because we don't want him to exert himself. Well, 2 seasons ago he ran the bases, he hurt something, and now I think that was the Achilles or the ankle. Now this time it's the hamstring. Also, so he was taken out of the game, obviously did the imaging, and it looks like, yes, they're going to have to shut him down for at least 10 days. So not terrible, but of course, there's been a better version of Stanton compared to the past couple of years. And, even what he's done in the offseason, the work, losing some weight, being a little bit more flexible. It's paid off at the plate there, and 18 home runs. He's hitting much better for average. And, if you go to the recent YouTube episode, I kind of read some of the All-Star voting for some Yankees involved, and he's right now, at least at the moment, number 2 for DH. Now, let's just see if this injury has anything to derail that. But again, having a pretty good season for himself, so to take him out to lose that bat there, that is yet another blow for the Yankees. Now, they did dodge a bullet with Judge getting hit on the hand, did dodge another bullet with Gleyber Torres tweaking his groin there. Now, that was negative. Of course, Gleyber was able to contribute a little bit in the one game they won in the series against Atlanta, but of course, Stanton needed to be shut down. So, near term, and the timing was right. Looks like they called up Peraza in his place, who was dealing with the shoulder issue since the spring training there. So, but Peraza, look, he's been up in here a few times, and this has got to admit it. But this guy, he's been given chances, and he really hasn't wowed you. So, okay, I think this is up here by default. But he was someone that was supposed to compete with Volpe in the shortstop position there, and whatever position shots Peraza has gotten, whether it was last season at third base there when Donaldson was failing, either he would get hurt or he would just underperform there. So people going gaga about Peraza there. I would kind of temper enthusiasm. Again, I haven't been that impressed so far. Was he have like maybe 2, maybe 3 home runs in the couple of seasons he's been up and down with the Yankees here. So I think whatever stock he's had has dropped drastically, and he just might end up this year like another like Eduardo Nunez / Miguel Andujar type there. So I hope it's not the case there. But for people saying that oh great, is Peraza now, he's gonna come and hit the ground running, I would hold my breath on him, because what we see him hasn't been terrific. So, but hopefully, if he wants to prove me wrong, great. I could be wrong here, but again, his stock has dropped drastically. And really what tells you what the Yankees really feel about Peraza is that the move they made right after making a trade with the Oakland A's for J.D. Davis. Now, you may remember him from the Met days a couple of years ago. It was kind of a big thing around here with the Mets. Fortunately, did phase out a little bit, but at least a comparable power bat, at least to bring in here. Of course, he's not going to replace Stan, but at least, again, you can see where the Yankees feel maybe that, even Peraza is not really enough. They need a little bit more. So now making this move. So at the time, Davis was on a designated for assignment by the Oakland A's, had played 39 games for them, hitting only .236, so not really great there with the average. 4 home runs, 5 RBIs, so again, not playing a ton there, and just with 29 hits. So this is a deal. The Yankees get J.D. Davis in cash consideration for infielder Jordan Gershons, someone who may not even crack baseball. So obviously, this is just a straight pickup player, pretty decent. Just in terms of he has some versatility. He could play third base. He could play first base, which is something perhaps the Yankees need now. Just the fact that Rizzo's down a little bit. I know they got Ben Rice there, but of course we know at third base there DJ LeMahieu has been underperforming with the batting average. So at least he's probably a better option right now than DJ LeMahieu, and of course again he could play first base as well if you want to spell Rice or DJ for a game at first, or he could be in play a little left field as well. And again, Yankees might be shuffling around a little bit. That's the fact that Stanton is down a little bit. There is the advantage of now you could give a blow to Judge. You could give a blow to Juan Soto, have them DH a little bit to get them off the feet, and then you could put maybe someone like, maybe move Verdugo around, maybe move him to right field, and you have maybe J.D. Davis play a little bit left. So again, now the Yankees can toy around a little bit, or have Trent Grisham play center field and give Judge a day off in center field there. So again, the only I guess maybe silver lining taking out of the Stanton injury there is that he's not, he pretty much had the DH spot on lockdown because you don't want him to field, because this is why you don't want him to field. Anytime he runs around, he tweaks a hamstring or an Achilles or something, and you lose him for a few weeks. So this now at least frees up the DH spot where now you give Judge a blow, you give Soto a blow, and, so that's probably the only good you could take out of this. Now you get J.D. Davis there to just provide a little bit pop. He's not going to replace Stanton, of course, but at least, a comparable bat. Now, if you want to look at his best season with the Mets, that was back in 2019. He hit 307. That was with 22 home runs, 57 RBIs, and pretty durable. Played in 140 games. More recently, last year with the San Francisco Giants, hit 245, so a little bit low there, but also some pop. 18 home runs, 69 RBIs, and that was in 144 games. So had a durable season last year. Again, it's not really getting off to a great start this year, and I guess whatever reason he had a full falling out with the A's. So I guess the Yankees are able to swoop him up here. So, it gives him an opportunity. He's not, it's not like he's over the hill. He's only 31 years old, so still relatively young. And in terms of his contract status, he's signed through this year. So this is someone who knows if he makes it till the end of the year with the Yankees. But even if he does, obviously he's a free agent after this year, so it's not like you're stuck with the guy for another 3 or 4 years like that. This is just a straight up, you just got him for 2024, and that's it. So it's a good deal for the Yankees. You don't have to give up much, and you get a little cash back and whatever you're going to use for that. And plus now, again, gives you flexibility. He can play first, he can play third, he can play a little outfield. And, of course, now the DH spot's a little freed up with no Stanton holding it down. So it's just a 10-day IL. So, again, it's maybe 2 weeks he's on the shelf there, so it's not the worst thing in the world. The Yankees are teetering a little bit. Baltimore came in here, slapped the Yankees around. Atlanta beat the Yankees 2 out of 3. The first game, Rodon got crushed, got booed off the mound there. Now the Yankees recovered a little bit in the second game. You got the offense sort of came back a little bit after being kind of sleepwalking for a while. You got a good bounce back from Stroman, who, again, wasn't that great in Fenway. And even the last game, Nestor wasn't terrible, but really the offense didn't show up to him. The Yankees lost 3-1 there. Nestor did pitch good in the opening Baltimore series there. And overall, Nestor has been good at home. But overall, you just look at his record, sub 500 there. So it's not still fully Nestor like that we remember from 2 seasons ago. He hasn't been terrible, but hasn't been fantastic this season. And now the Yankees get a much-needed day off on Monday. Again, I think they really needed it with the bullpen and everything else just to get a blow as well. Again, I mentioned there's been kind of a bit of a brutal heat wave here in New York over the past week or so there. So it's not going to really dim any better next week. But again, I think these Yankees just to get a game off, just get a blow that's much needed. And now going right back into the war, facing the Mets in Citi Field there. And, of course, they'll play 2 games, I guess, back in July at Yankee Stadium. But Cole gets the ball in the first game. So at least for Yankee fans, a little shot in the arm there. I guess, if he went 65 pitches, the first game, he was scheduled for 65, he did 62. Maybe they'll stretch him out for 80 pitches there. So, at best, maybe he goes 5 innings. He did 4 innings last time, so maybe they get 5 innings out of him. And we'll see, obviously, it's a little different now these days with the DH in both leagues. So it's not like Cole has to hit. You have the DH now playing in the National League parks there, so it helps the Yankees versus years past where, a pitcher would have to hit and it's almost an automatic out. And again, the Yankees were drastically at a disadvantage a lot of those games at Citi Field / Shea Stadium back in the day. So now it's a little bit different. And the Mets, again, riding a little bit high right now, again, over the last week or so. This, of course, the whole Grimm is throwing out the first pitch, but of course, that's not that. It's just they've been playing a little bit better. So you catching the Mets at a time when maybe you wanted to catch them a month ago when basically seemed like they just had given up on the season. The fans had given up on the season. Now they have a little bit of hope. And of course, their fans are going to be pumped up Tuesday. Of course, there'll be a lot of Yankee fans there, but there'll be a lot of Met fans as well. And of course, anytime the big brother comes to town, that's like their World Series. Because again, it doesn't seem like the Mets really have any postseason aspirations, even though they're kind of crawling back a little bit. But for them, this is probably the Mets' best moment of 2024, so their fans are going to be pumped up about it. I got to throw in was one more thing. Not really a big deal, but I was kind of listening to some coverage on The Fan about, this when this news broke down about Stanton and kind of some solutions they had. And look, I'm not perfect, no one's perfect, but they had like one of their, I guess it was kind of like not one of their usual night guys, it was kind of the substitute guys that comes in once in a while. And he was just saying, don't worry, the Yankees will be fine, they're the best team in baseball, and like, okay, the Yankees are good at top, but there's nothing I look about this Yankee team and say, wow, yes, they're without a doubt the best team in baseball. I mean, there's a lot of good you like about them. And again, the rotation collectively when they're all at their best is very dominating. Maybe could be the best, but I mean, there's holes here in the offense outside of Volpe, Judge, and Soto. The rest of the lineup, at times, is a bit of a drag. I mean, you do have some problems there. Again, the bullpen's okay, solid, but it's not like, a lock stock bullpen. This is not like the late 90s Yankees bullpen. This is not like the Reds bullpen of like 1990. I'm going to clearly look at this team and say they're beyond the, this is so great. And then the host also announced, says, well, the Yankees could just, they got some chips in the back pockets, such as Jason Dominguez and Everson Pereira. Well, never really got into in this episode just because it was kind of a bit of a story, but a non-story. But Pereira, he tore his UCL like a couple of weeks ago. Never really got to mention him. It was between episodes. But again, he came up last year. It was all right, but it's not like someone like the Yankees depended on me. I wouldn't put Everson Pereira up there with Dominguez and Volpe as sort of like the future of the Yankees there. But again, he's no longer available. And of course, Dominguez, most recently, originally was on the 7-day IL with a tweaked oblique, but of course now they updated that to 8 weeks. And this guy was saying, yeah, maybe I could just bring up Dominguez. Well, it's like, it's kind of big news. I don't know. It's like, and it's like 2 or 3 days old. I mean, kind of should have known that. But so this goes going to show a little bit like no one's perfect with some of this stuff. But really, I mean, that's just like something you should kind of know. I mean, especially with Dominguez being out for 8 weeks. I mean, that's kind of big news and would have been perfect. Now that with Stanton down, that was someone you would want to bring up Dominguez. This would be the perfect time for it, because now with the bully keys down there a little bit. So just kind of found that a little interesting. I appreciate the guys' enthusiasm about the team. Again, they're going through a little rough patch right now. I don't think it's terrible that, oh my God, the season's going to be lost and they're going to lose everything. No, I think they'll bounce back a little bit. It's just a lot of bad things happening at once right now and tipped off by the Stanton thing. But even when the Yankees were rolling good, I would say they were maybe the top 2-3 teams in baseball, but I wouldn't clearly look at them and say, they're clearly the best team in baseball. I mean, there's still some holes there, and Dodgers aren't exactly taking off the way we all thought they would. Philly's been great, but of course, again, no one's really perfect, but I don't look at the Yankees and just say, oh, they're clearly the best team in baseball. They're very good, but I want to put it the best right now, again, and right now just dealing with some challenges. So that's the episode. Catch you next time.